Hi guys, it's newtonkinz here, and I apologize. This video is super informal. It's like 9 something at night, and I don't want to like spend a lot of time on this. I just kind of want it to be like straightforward. So I'm filming on my bed, and I like shoved everything over there. So, that's nice. Okay, so if you're one of those people who doesn't actually read the titles of videos and you're just like, hey, this person uploaded a video, I'm gonna click on it and watch it, then that's great for you. But for the rest of you, you probably already know by the title of this video that it's not good news. Unfortunately, my webkin series, Dear Darkness, will probably not be continued. Now, I have excuses, I guess you would call them, and the first one is that it's just the issue of time and other priorities. And like for Dear Darkness and like just filming in general, honestly, like as of right now, I'm having a hard time like finding time for stuff. So I started filming Dear Darkness the summer between my 7th and 8th grade year. And I'll be honest, middle school was like the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. We rarely got homework. If it was homework, it was like a math paper, and I never did my math homework half the time anyways because our teacher never checked the homework. So please, I'm not like a horrible person. I just never felt like doing my math homework, so I just never did it. But back to the point of this video. So like 8th grade especially, because that's kind of like I started my channel in like May of 2017, which was the end of my 7th grade year. And, like 8th grade, it was super easy. I was in youth orchestra at that time, but I was in concert orchestra, which is the lower level because I wasn't old enough to be in the upper level, which is Philharmonic. So, I mean, I had youth orchestra, but that was like 2 hours every Monday, not a big deal. So I had like a lot of time because I didn't really have homework. I didn't have a lot of other stuff I was doing. So I managed to get 2 episodes of Dear Darkness out in my 8th grade year, and it was pretty great. I got Dear Darkness plus other stuff. Like, I did a lot with my channel. I really developed it over my 8th grade year, and it was just, like, it was something I enjoyed doing in my free time, but it's also something that I made a part of my life, because I love this community, guys. I love webkins, and I love filming. So I started freshman year of high school this year, and on top of that, like I said, I'm really involved in orchestra, and I made it into the Philharmonic division of youth orchestra. Okay, I don't know how far in that last clip got, but my camera battery just died, so, that was nice. But as I was saying, youth orchestra, I'm doing upper level music this year, 3 hours every Sunday on top of more homework, because obviously I'm in high school now, okay? And then I also have church. I've started playing for my church's praise team, so I do that every Sunday, and it's something I really enjoy. But unfortunately, this means that I need to reprioritize. I've always been, like, my stereotype at school is the smart kid who somehow is perfect at everything she does. Like, I learn things super easily, and I've always been kind of bored in school. So I decided this year that I was going to take all upper level classes. So I have 2 honors classes, a pre-AP class, an AP class. I'm taking Mandarin 2, which is sophomore level Mandarin, and I'm in symphony orchestra for school, which is like, there's only 5 freshmen in the class, if that tells you anything. So that's kind of a big deal. And I'm not saying it's like a bad thing, but the workload is way different. It's something that I have to get used to. It's taken me like close to 3 months, and I'm just now kind of figuring out my schedule and my routine. And that's like I just didn't develop very good study habits in middle school because I didn't really have to. And now all of a sudden I have like an AP exam coming up in like December, so that's something that's kind of big. So my weekends, just kind of give you guys an idea. On Fridays I'm done with school. I'm just like, nope. So on Fridays I usually come home from school and I play with Watson and just kind of do whatever. Saturdays, I get up. I usually tend to procrastinate. This is kind of a problem I have. But typically, I try to get all my homework out of the way on Saturday, which it usually takes me, I want to say, like, at the minimum 2 hours to get my homework done because I cannot focus for the life of me. And the reason I try and get all my homework done on Saturdays because Sundays I spend maybe 2-3 hours at home minimum. I get up, I have church, like I said. Church is from 9 to around 12:30ish because I go in early to practice with my praise team. And then I eat lunch at home, and then I go directly to youth orchestra practice, and I have that for 3 hours. And then I come home for like maybe 5 minutes, get a snack or something, and then I go to youth group for an hour. And then I come home, eat dinner, do whatever homework I didn't finish because I procrastinated or whatever, and then I go to bed, and I get up, and it's Monday, and Mondays are great. So basically, there comes the question, when do I put Kinstagram in there? Like, school is important, obviously, because grades are important for college and stuff. Orchestra, if you guys didn't know, I'm kind of still deciding if I want to go into performing arts or music education, but I definitely want to do something with music in my future, so orchestra and bass is, like, a top priority, because that's, like, the key to my success in the future, like, there's no question, I have to do that, so I have lessons, and I practice for an hour, 30 minutes every day, or at least I should, but I sometimes don't, because I'm, lazy. That's nice. It really does leave the question, like, when do I film? And when I do film, or when I do have time to do whatever I want, what do I need to film? Like, what needs to go up on my channel? So, I've been kind of looking through some of my uploads recently. I kind of feel like it's all been, like, the exact same things. It's either music videos, like, short 1-minute music videos, or unboxing videos. And it's because those are easy to edit and just get out of the way, and like, here's the problem with me. Like, whenever I have a video, like, I usually do not spend more than, like, 10 minutes planning out a video. I usually don't have scripts. I can think of, like, maybe, I don't know, I really can't think of the last time I actually went out and scripted a video, honestly. And then the other thing is, if it takes more than, like, say, 2 or 3 days to film and edit, then I'm probably never gonna finish it, because I can't work on something for that long. I don't have 2 or 3 days to spend working on something. So because of that, I usually end up either uploading, like, unboxing videos if I do happen to get a Webkinz or do a trade package or something, because those are, like, easy to edit and there's really no storyline. It's literally an unboxing of a Webkinz. Or, the other option, like I said, is music videos, because typically those take, depending on, like, the length and, like, what style of editing I want to use, it usually takes between an hour and 3 hours maximum to film for me. And then editing, I can usually, like, sneak a few minutes of editing in here or there. So, music videos, I upload those just because they're easy to do. But then you have stuff like Dear Darkness, where it takes a long time. And that's part of the reason why I haven't uploaded it. Like, episode 3. Okay, so here's the thing with episode 3. So, episode 2 I uploaded on New Year's Day of 2018. I started working on episode 3, a few weeks after that. And, like, my strategy is, because Dear Darkness, like, each episode is an hour plus. Like, so, I can't get it all done in, like, one shot, so I take some time, I plan out some time, I work on it, and then I just continue to do that throughout a certain frame of time, and for some reason, I just I can't bring myself to finish this one. So, like, the thing is, I started this so long ago, it's filmed on 2 different cameras. Sometime this past summer, my camera just died in the middle of filming an MEP part, and so I had to get a new camera, and that was, like, a pain in the butt, and it was not good. So, because of that, like, the first part of Your Darkness is filmed with the old camera, and the next part is filmed with this camera that I'm currently using, and it's not, like, a huge difference, because the models are very similar, but it is noticeable, and I kind of, like, cringed when I first saw it, because I went to edit the clips together, and it's like, the lighting is different, the microphone is kind of off, it's weird. And then, so this kind of like brings me back to the whole thing with not scripting. So with Dear Darkness, I never actually scripted it. It was an idea that I had, and like I know where the story's going. Like in my head, I can tell you, oh, this, and this happens in episode 3. This person is like an idiot, and blah 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 blah. Like I can tell you that. I never actually wrote any of it down though, and so along the way, even though I have like the general plot of things, there are some minor details that I haven't quite thought through, or that like kind of got like changed around as I kind of like revised things. And because of that, there was sort of a discrepancy in like what I filmed. So I guess I'll just kind of explain that. Okay, so toward the episode 3 is kind of based around there some like two of the characters, Nathan, my signature cheetah, who's big, like he's been a big part of all 2 episodes up to this point, and then also Rhea, the signature red wolf, who was seen at the end of episode 2. There's some conflict that goes on between them, and I don't want to like go into too much detail about it, but like Nathan has one viewpoint and Rhea has an opposite viewpoint. And I filmed their viewpoints, and then for whatever reason, I don't know what happened, I couldn't find the clips when I went to put them in my editor. It's like I was trying to get them off my SD card, and I guess somewhere along the way, they like they be gone. I don't know what happened to them, guys. So I ended up having to refilm that entire scene, and because I didn't have a script, I completely changed the viewpoints, like just completely switched around their personalities. And I didn't really want to go back and refilm it. And so I have to now work with that. So yesterday I was kind of going through, because I was kind of debating whether or not I was gonna, because I'm actually on Thanksgiving break right now. We have like 3 days off of school and then the weekend. So I was kind of debating, well, am I going to spend Thanksgiving break filming Dear Darkness? And I kind of went back through, and I have the file on my desktop, and I was going back through, because I haven't looked at it in a while, just because of school and other stuff. And I don't like where it was going. I just, there are a lot of little things that bug me about it, and I don't have the time or the patience to refilm it. It's not, I honestly don't want to upload it. Because that portion, like even if I finished like the second half, even if I spent a lot of time on the second half and made it good, the first half of it, it's not good. I don't want people watching it. It's like, it's just really inconsistent, and I don't know, I'm not proud of it. So that's one problem. But guess what? There are more problems. So this next part, like the next, I guess, reason or whatever. Like I know the first part of this video is kind of like low-key, whatever. This next part of the video, like I don't mean to be like a killjoy, but it's kind of on a more serious note. Not to say that the other stuff wasn't serious, but this is actually something that, I've been meaning to kind of like talk about for a while, I guess, and I've just never really gotten around to it. Also, I'm so sorry, my voice keeps like just randomly cracking. It's not that I'm like dying or something. I'm trying to talk kind of quietly because it's sort of late at night, and my voice doesn't like, it doesn't agree with me apparently. This all kind of takes place in 7th grade. So back when I was like 11, it was 7th grade was actually my first year of middle school, because our school district does it where it's 2 years in middle school, so it's 7 and 8th, and then elementary school is like K through 6. So 7th grade, you know, it's the first year of middle school. Wahoo! I had a best friend. You guys can probably already tell where this is going. But anyways, I had my best friend. Her name was Audrey. She's my best friend since like 2nd or 3rd grade. We got to middle school, and we didn't really have any classes together. We had lunch together, so, I mean, I still saw her at lunch and still go up to her, say hi. She started hanging out with some, I guess, wannabe popular girls. Like, I don't really know how else to describe them. And it's not that these guys were, like, bad people or whatever. They just weren't the kind of people I wanted to hang out with. And, you know, I mean, that was fine. Like, people, like, we make new friends in middle school, whatever. And I came up to her at lunch one day, like, 'cause she was sitting with them, and I wanted to, like, talk to her or something. And she just, like, nope. Just, like, completely, like, nope. Like, she just kind of just stopped talking to me. It wasn't like she was, like, shunning me. It was just that she didn't, like, ever want to, like, talk to me, I guess. And so I eventually emailed her, told her to check her email. Uh, she never did until, like, 4 months later. And she's like, check your email. And at that point, I'm like, you know what? It's honestly, like, I'm done. If it took you that long to respond to me about it, I'm honestly done. We're like, we just, I haven't really talked to her since. It is what it is. I mean, life happens, people move on, interests change. It's not the end of the world. At that point in time, though, I mean, this person was my best friend. Like, I didn't have Instagram or Kinstube or anything like that. And, like, I mean, it's middle school. Like, we're all just trying to survive. And all of a sudden, I'm just like, whoa, my go-to person just, like, completely abandoned me. Wow. Uh, that's kind of nice. Beyond that, 7th grade was probably the hardest year for me. So, as a lot of you guys probably know, I am a Christian. I'm very outward about my faith, and I grew up in a Christian household, and it's been something that's been close to me. But for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't have a good reason or explanation as to why this happened. I just fell away from that in 7th grade. I just, I wasn't going to church. I didn't have as close of a relationship with God as I probably needed to, and it it just wasn't good. This was kind of like when things just really just life was not going well. Okay, so I was looking through my phone so I could see if I can find some photos. And this was Newton. She was our family's Boston Terrier. She was our first dog. We adopted her when she was a puppy and when I was, I think, 3. And she was a really big part of my life. So in late October, early November, she started having seizures. So, we started giving her some medicine for that. It eventually came to the point where the vet told us there's a good chance she has a brain tumor. She's not gonna be around forever. And that was probably one of the hardest things that I guess to this point have had to go through, was the loss of her. Beyond that, my mom at the time taught at a Catholic high school, and they had a new principal there who, let's just say that I don't know how that guy fit in at a Catholic high school, to say the least. Like, so things were not going very well at her workplace. That really affected the rest of our family. Like, she'd come home and, like, we all kind of just be like, oh, this is great. Life is great. On top of that, that's kind of where things started to go downhill with my dad's side of the family. My grandma, I think that's kind of when her memory it became obvious that her memory wasn't doing as well as it should have been. So that was kind of a big deal, I guess. It was just a lot to take in all at once. So, I mean, the thing is, because I didn't have as good of a relationship with God as I needed to, I didn't handle the situation very well, and I ended up isolating myself because I was really sad, and it was a lot to, take in and handle at one time, and it didn't end well. Now, fortunately, I regained that relationship, I started going to church again, and things got better. At the time, however, like, one of the ways that I think that I coped with the situation was by venting about it. But I mean, I didn't have Instagram. I didn't like. I still don't honestly I'll vent to people, like, to my close friends on here sometimes, but even then I still kind of feel bad about it, because it's like, why do you have to put up with my problems? So, one of the ways I vented was by writing. So, and I'm gonna say this, it's not like I wrote Dear Darkness to, I didn't write Dear Darkness purposely, like, oh, this is my backstory. It was more kind of, well, as the story developed, I kind of made the connection that that's what it was, and I kind of changed some stuff to kind of fit that better. If you guys didn't know, Sylvia is my Kinsona. What a shocker! I'm guessing if you didn't, unless you knew that to begin with, I know some people did, but if you're sitting here thinking, oh, Newton is my Kinsona, well then you're wrong. Sylvia is, but you're probably sitting here thinking to yourself, whoa, Sylvia German and Newtonkins, what? I will say, it's not a direct representation. It's more that the idea of Sylvia's struggles, I guess, kind of reflect the direction that I took with my life, especially, in 7th grade. And then, towards the end, in the newer episodes, I guess, which actually newer episodes would be considered, everything after episode 1, which is, the present, that's kind of when Sylvia rebounds and, if things get better for her. So, I don't want to give away too much because I'm not here to, tell you guys the story of Dear Darkness. But that's kind of the idea, is that Sylvia, some stuff went wrong with her life, and the way she dealt with it affected other people, i.e. Victor. And, I mean, the entire, as of right now, Dear Darkness is based around Victor and his story, but in all honesty, I think it has more to do with Sylvia and her relationship with him. So that's a thing. So you're probably sitting here and wondering, well, that's great and all, but why can't you finish Your Darkness? And the short answer is because I have a hard time going back to that. I don't really want to film a story about the struggle. I kind of, in my mind, it's taken me a while to come to terms with it. And I honestly, I'm still trying to come to terms with it. And I think that once I realized that, and I kind of realized that this is what Dear Darkness is really about for me, it's... I guess it's harder for me to go in and film and say, oh, this is a cute story. Well, not really cute. This is a story about this Time Lord who, manipulates this kid. It's more, this is a story about my struggles and what consequences they had, I guess. There is actually a third reason. Now, I will say this reason is honestly probably, the worst reason out of all three of them. The other two, are understandable. This one, it's it's not, it shouldn't really be a deciding factor, but it is. And, I will say, it's not, a stupid reason. It's a serious issue, actually. But I guess I should just, explain it. So, back in May of 2017, I made my KinzTube, and I think one of the first people who, subscribed to me on KinzTube and commented on my videos was TigerKinz, who by then I think went by the username TigerCat153. But anyways, Cass/TigerKinz, she kind of commented on my videos a couple times. I'm like, oh, hey, cool, this person likes my content. Didn't really think anything of it. And then eventually she messaged me on Instagram. She's like, hey, I really like your videos. I think that, your content's really cool. And I just want to tell you that. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's cool that we could talk. And then eventually, we started talking more, and we even sent packages to each other. But, we stayed up talking, and, we just became really good friends. And, she was one of my best friends definitely on Kinstagram, if not like in like all realms of newtonkinz, whatever that's supposed to mean. So, I think like the biggest thing that we talk about is like Dear Darkness and her webtoon series Dear Amy. That was like, I mean, like we would stay up till at least 11 a lot of nights just talking about like just the secrets within the two series. When Dear Darkness episode 2 came out on New Year's day slash eve, like obviously it was New Year's, so we were both kind of staying up late. But I stayed up till 2 a.m. It was 1 a.m. for her, and we just talked about just Dear Darkness and Dear Amy, and it was honestly like one of the best memories I had with her. Just so I mean, we obviously continued talking, and then summer of this year, so 2018, it hit, and my family was taking a big trip out of the country, so I wanted to focus on that, and I also had the audition for youth orchestra, which I was really focusing on. I just had a lot going on, and I didn't like completely stop talking to her, but in general, I think I focused more on my family and on like the real world, so to speak. Not that she isn't the real world, but I focused more on like things that were right in front of me, and I wasn't talking to her as much. And then I came back from Europe, and it was August, and I messaged her, and I'm like, hey, we haven't like talked in a while, like, because we Skype before, and we do like video stream, like live streams on Instagram. So I'm like, hey, do you want to like Skype me at some point? We can talk, kind of catch up. And that's where it all like just died. Okay, so this was the message I sent her back in August. I did have a dream, like, um, I keep forgetting exactly what it was. I think it was like she came to church with me, and then we like hung out, and it was really great. And then I also said like, also I feel like I haven't talked to you in a while. Would you like to Skype or live stream or something? And it's now November. I haven't heard from her since. So I am gonna say, Cass in, I forget when it was. I think it was like early, might have been November of last year actually. She came out with a video on her channel, and she kind of talked about the fact that she had been diagnosed with depression and performance anxiety, and that like she occasionally just needed to take breaks from social media and just kind of get herself together, which I totally understand. Like the internet sucks when you feel like that. And so, I mean, at first I kind of figured, well, okay, she's probably just taking a break from the internet. Because, we all do that. And then, a few weeks passed, it's like, okay, well, maybe she's just taking a bit of a longer break. A month passed, I still hadn't heard from her. And then actually, Jaredkins and I decided to, like, send her a letter because we like, I guess me especially, but, like, he came up with the idea because I give credit, okay? So anyways, I sent her a letter to, and I will say Canadian postage is really weird. So, like, the first package, like, we exchanged, mine got to her house within 4 days. Like, shipping was 4 days. She sent hers out in November, and it got to me in late January. So, I mean, she said Canadian postage was trash. I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't know what happened to that letter, but long story short, she hasn't responded to me by letter. She also hasn't responded to me by social media, which includes Skype, YouTube, and Instagram. I don't have her phone number. I kind of wish I'd gotten it, but just long story short, it's been 3 months. I don't know what happened to her. The thing is, I don't necessarily know that she didn't do something to herself. Because, like, if we're being honest, like, the first person she would, like, if, like, let's say she had taken a break, the first person she would talk to was me, because we, like, honestly, we're really close, we became, honestly, best friends, and I just don't know. I don't know if she's still out there and just, like, but, I mean, bottom line, as as 2018 comes to a close, it's getting harder and harder for me to believe that she's still out there. So you guys are probably sitting here thinking, well, what does that have to do with Your Darkness? Well, as I kind of mentioned, the idea that, like, Your Darkness and her webtoon series, Dear Amy, was something that, like, we talked about constantly. It was something that I honestly uploaded not only for me, but for her as well, because I know that she liked my work, and I know that she enjoyed seeing the episodes, and I guess I just don't have as much motivation to film it without her. I guess, like, if that makes sense. I started filming this at like 9:03 and it's 9:54. So I'm really sorry for the really just crummy video. It's just something I needed to address, I guess. And I'm gonna be honest, like the whole thing with I guess like the 7th grade thing, whatever, was something that I've kind of been wanting to like address for a while, and I just didn't know how to do it. So I figured I'd include it in here, and I don't know if I'll keep this video on public for very long, but it was just something I needed to talk about. So the final conclusion, if you like skip through to the end of this video because you don't really want to watch it, I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna continue with Your Darkness, because in a perfect world, I like take a break from it, kind of come back to it when I'm ready, we pick up where we left off, whatever. But there's a good chance that it's not gonna happen. Sorry, I'm not crying or anything. I can't breathe because my nose is like stuffed or something. So that was great. Honestly, I don't even know if I'll make this video public. Like, I should. It's something that I think I really need to, I guess, address. Not just the Your Darkness part, but also kind of like the other stuff too. But like, I don't know, guys. I just don't know. Anyways, I'm really sorry for this, like, dreary video, but I've been newtonkinz. I do hope to upload a short film soon, because, I asked for some suggestions on Instagram, and furrykins suggested that I do a short film, and I have a really good idea for it. So that's kind of a plus, right? Like, yeah. Short films rock. Okay, I guess I'll see you guys in another video that's hopefully something that's not a music video or an unboxing video, because I need variety. Okay, bye, I guess.